Evaluate the expression. Alright, so here we have 9 minus 13 inside of parentheses. We also have 3 minus 1 inside of parentheses, and we have 5 plus 6 inside of parentheses. So instead of doing all of that work in 3 separate lines, I'm just going to solve those subtraction and addition problems all at the same time because they're unrelated. They're like not connected to each other particularly. So we can solve all of those simultaneously in one step and it won't change anything. We could have done it in 3 lines where we just solve this first and then this and then this, but they're not directly touching each other and it won't affect the outcome. So we do all of those together. The ones in green were all just solved. Now we continue. So then all the parentheses are done. So we look for exponents, and here we have one. So I solved just this exponent here in purple and rewrote the rest of the problem as it still is. Now we have some division, we have multiplication, we have addition, we have more multiplication, and subtraction. So let's knock out both of these this division here and this multiplication here. The reason why I solve these at the same time is because we're getting better at order of operations, and we can see that these are unrelated terms. So solving this at the same time as we solve this, it's not going to affect the other one. They're not together. So they're 2 separate terms. It'll be okay. So we could have solved this in 2 steps where we solve this is 8, and then in the next step we would solve that this is 72. But let's save a little space, solve both of those at once. Now, we now have a multiplication here because 16 was divided by 2, but it seems like you'd want to divide this by 4 because those are multiplied together. However, when you have division and multiplication, you always work from left to right. So before we multiply by 2, we're going to divide this by 2. So we divide that by 2, we get 8. Then we still just have to multiply it by this 2. And over here, this was just multiplication of 9 times 8 and subtraction and addition here. So this is like a little isolated piece. So we can just solve that and write the negative 11 in there. So next we have multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So we do the multiplication first. 8 times 2 is 16. Then we just write plus 72 minus 11. And at this point, we just solve it. So 16 plus 72 minus 11 is 77.